He doesn't have the right equipment. Companions the Creator seeks, and such as know how to whet their sickles. Destroyers they will be called, and despisers of good and evil, but they are the harvesters, and those who celebrate. Fellow creators Zarathustra seeks, fellow harvesters and fellow celebrants. What are herds and shepherds and corpses to him? And you, my first companion, farewell. I buried you well in your hollow tree. I have hidden you well from the wolves, but I part from you. The time is up. Between dawn and dawn a new truth has come to me. No shepherd shall I be, nor gravedigger. Never again shall I speak to the people. For the last time have I spoken to the dead. Never again will I speak to the people, for the last time have I spoken to the dead. Is he talking about his dead companion, or is he saying that the people are basically dead? I shall join the creators, the harvesters, the celebrants. I shall show them the rainbow and all the steps to the overman. To the hermits I shall sing my song, to the lonesome and to the twosome, and wherever still has ears for the unheard of, his heart shall become heavy with my happiness. To my goal I will go, on my own way, over those who hesitate and lag behind I shall leap. Thus let my going be their going under. This is what Zarathustra had told his heart when the sun stood high at noon. Then he looked into the air, questioning, for overhead he heard the sharp call of a bird. And behold, an eagle soared through the sky in wide circles, and on him there hung a serpent, not like prey, but like a friend. Eagle and a serpent flying, for she kept herself wound round his neck. These are my animals, said Zarathustra, and was happy in his heart. You remember the eagle and the serpent up on the mountain. The proudest animal under the sun and the wisest animal under the sun. He knows there's no problem eating the food from the tree of knowledge. And the proudest, the eagle's the proudest. They have gone out on a search. They want to determine whether Zarathustra is still alive. Verily, do I still live? I found life more dangerous among men than among animals. On dangerous paths walks Zarathustra. May my animals lead me. When Zarathustra had said this, he recalled the words of the saint in the forest. He sighed, and he spoke thus to his heart: That I might be wiser, that I might be wise through and through like my serpent. But it's biblical. He's talking about the Bible right there. But there I ask the impossible, so I ask my pride that it always go along with my wisdom. And when my wisdom leaves me one day, alas, it loves to fly away, let my pride then fly with my folly. Thus Zarathustra began to go under. Zarathustra's speeches on the three metamorphoses of the spirit. I tell you how the spirit becomes a camel, and the camel a lion, and the lion, finally, a child. There is much that is difficult for the spirit, the strong, reverent spirit that would bear much, but the difficult and the most difficult are what its strength demands. What is difficult? Asks the spirit that would bear much, and kneels down like a camel, wanting to be well loaded. What is most difficult, O heroes? Asks the spirit that would bear much. This speaks to many a violently revolutionary, creative person in history. Ayn Rand, for example, violently revolutionary, revolutionarily creative. Kneels down like a camel, wanting to be well loaded. What is most difficult, O heroes? Asks the spirit that would bear much. That I may take it upon myself and exult in my strength. So if you do take on something extra difficult, it's not just the reward you'll get out of it. It's your own satisfaction of knowing that you did it. Is it not humbling oneself? to wound one's haughtiness, letting one's folly shine to mock one's wisdom. Letting one's folly shine to mock one's wisdom. Or is it this, parting from our cause when it triumphs, climbing high mountains to tempt the tempter? So a hero says, what's the most difficult? And if that's what it is, if the most difficult thing is to triumph and part from your cause as it climaxes, climbing high mountains to tempt the tempter, or is it this, feeding on the acorns in the grass of knowledge, and for the sake of the truth, suffering hunger in one's soul? Or is it this that is the most difficult? Being sick and sending home the comforters, and making friends with the deaf who never hear what you want. Is that the most difficult? Or is it this, stepping into filthy waters when they are the waters of truth, and not repulsing cold frogs and hot toads? So you might not like the truth, but there it is. Or is it this, loving those who despise us, and offering a hand to the ghost that would frighten us? Loving those who despise us, that's got to be Christianity, love your enemy, and offering a hand to the ghost that would frighten us. All these most difficult things, the spirit that would bear much takes upon itself. So a spirit that would bear a lot takes all those on itself. Like the camel that burdened speeds into the desert, thus the spirit speeds into the desert. In the loneliest desert, however, the second metamorphosis occurs. Here the spirit becomes a lion who would conquer his freedom and be master in his own desert. Here he seeks out his last master. He wants to fight him, and his last god. For ultimate victory he wants to fight with the great dragon. Who is the great dragon whom the spirit will no longer call Lord and God? Thou shalt is the name of the great dragon. Aha, interesting. So we're in the second metamorphosis now. The third metamorphosis, the lion turns into a child, but now we've got the lion, and the lion wants to conquer his freedom and be master in his own desert. Okay, so he's going to fight the great dragon of thou shalt, of moral injunction, ethical commandments. But the spirit of the lion says, I will, not thou shalt, I will. So the spirit of the lion disagrees with the green dragon of thou shalt. I will it, I want it. He means will in that way of willpower, rather than I'll get to it, I will do it. The spirit of the lion is, I will it. Thou shalt lies in his way, sparkling like gold, an animal covered with scales, and on every scale shines a golden thou shalt. Values, thousands of years old, shine on these scales, and thus speaks the mightiest of all dragons, quote, all value of all things shines on me. All value has long been created, and I am all created value. Religion, right? Verily there shall be no more I will. Thus speaks the dragon. Verily there shall be no more of the individual's willpower and desires. That's what the dragon says. My brothers, why is there a need in the spirit for the lion? This is just Nietzsche talking now. Nobody talking. My brothers, why is there a need in the spirit for the lion? Why is not the beast of burden, which renounces and is reverent, enough? Why do we have to have a part in our spirit and our soul and our psyche for a lion, the player of the lion part? Why couldn't we all be camels? To create new values, that even the lion cannot do. But the creation of freedom for oneself, for new creation, that is